Hey gang, and welcome to Path of Exile video Heist Builds. Path of Building has been updated to 3.19, so I've done some theory crafting in Path of Building. Thank you to Local Identity and their team for keeping it updated and providing the PoE community with an invaluable resource such as PoB Fork. Please go onto Twitter and follow Local Identity, show them some love. So, with that out of the way, let's get on to this. Now, I have a bit of a disclaimer. Obviously 3.19 has not been applied to the Path of Exile game yet. I've theory crafted in PoB and have applied that theories to my standard characters, matching them almost perfectly. The tree is exactly the same, the gear is a little bit different, so bear that in mind as I go through the gear. We're going to start off with a baby heist. My version is a 59 to 60, currently sat at 59. Excuse me, that's better. I've got a separate video as to why I do 59 to 60. Go and check that out. If I remember, I'll link it either in the description below or at the end of the video. Let's get on to the gear and then we'll go on to the tree. So a bit of a shake up with the minor reservation node being removed, and of course this build has a lot of uniques. We don't know how much the unique drop has been nerfed, so bear that in mind. One of the uniques hopefully is still easy to obtain, the rest is going to be a bit price variant and drop variant. I have run this build in 3.18 where I used a 5-link Quill Rain and a 5-link Queen of the Forest. I will update the my Path of Building leveling guides and notes section. I'll be doing that tomorrow. As you can see, it's quite late and I've only just finished theory crafting builds, so I'll update PoB and get that out with my Google Doc as soon as I can. Let's go through the gear. As per standard, we've got our Quill Rain. This holds our Toxic Rain. Now most of my gems are either quality to 20% and some of them are on alternate qualities. Now if you want to min-max that far, go for it. This isn't standard. I've had time and currency to invest in this character quite heavily, so I'm not going to mention the alt quality versions. You'll see them on the screen, but I'll give the base version. It's up to you if you go for the alt qualities. Excuse me. So we've got Toxic Rain buffed by Conk Effect, Void Manipulation, Vicious Proj, Efficacy and Ballista Totem. We move on to our helm, which is Rat's Nest for the increased movement speed and rarity of items found. In Heist, this only applies to mobs. The reason we use this is to get more NPC gear from the mobs. In here houses our cast when damage taken, Molten Shell, Life Tap and Phase Run. We've got our ever-friendly Here's Bite. As far as I'm aware, the recipe for crafting this at League Start is still viable. You can craft the recipe yourself or just buy one from traders as and when they come up. We use 2 Lahoop of Alls. Again, I have no idea how the trade price of those or how regular they're going to be. Queen of the Forest is our staple body armor with Caustic Arrow, Vicious Proj, Void Manipulation, Mirage Archer, Efficacy and Decay. I didn't have a leveled Decay, so I found a 20% quality one in my stash to use for this demonstration. Going down to the boots, we're looking for Lionized Paws or Replica Lionized Paws. Either way, both boots come with an inherent attack. This one, the replica, has Toxic Rain. The original has Rain of Arrows, and we're buffing those skills. So whichever version you use, you'll have Despair, Hex Touch, Life Gain on Hit, and Withering Touch. After that, we go with a belt. Whatever belt is in your price range. You are looking for resists, ideally an open suffix to craft Chaos Resist. You're looking for life, and then of the other 2 prefixes, you want armor, energy shield or mana. My favourites would be mana and energy shield. Energy shield in hopes that I'll stop a stun or two. That's that done. If you're using a Stygian Vice, you're then looking for an ideal, something like this. Strength and Dex, max life and damage over time while wielding a two-handed weapon. Gloves again, ideally armor and evasion, life and resists. Open suffix for chaos resist. Chaos resistance on this build is a bit of a problem. Auras, we are running malevolence, purity of elements, and determination with an enlighten. You will need an enlighten level 3 to run all of the auras. Excuse me, my dry throat's back again. I apologise. It's very hot here in England and the dryness has got to my throat. Amulet, you'll be the simplex amulet that I suggest in the build is a very min-max item. It can be crafted with fossils, but it can be done in 5 trays or 5,000 tries. You're better off just getting an amulet, something like this, with life, whatever resists you need help with, and then stats. And then you need to allocate sovereignty. Again, we're looking for the mana reservation efficiency here, so that coupled with the purity, the enlighten, allows us to run all 3 of the auras. Flasks, we want a life flask. I prefer a sanctified life flask because it's the best flask we can use at this level. The prefix is better off being a more life when used on low life, or that's something of that wording. And then we want the immunity to bleed on there. You want a quicksilver. The quicksilver flask on this character is a legacy quicksilver because standard. And then you want a jade, a granite, and a stibnite. Sorry, my flasks are around the wrong way. That's better. Jade, granite, and the stibnite. Because we're back to running purity of elements, you'll want more evasion, more armor, and no, you want poison on one of these, curse on the other one, and then this one something, probably armor or evasion. So that's the flasks. That's the gear. Let's look at the tree. So Raider hasn't received any changes that I'm aware of that affect us, so we still go for Quartz Infusion for phasing, and then we come up for Rapid Assault for the onslaught, and Avatar of the Chase for more onslaught. As I said, this matches the 3.19 POB. I'll update the POBs and hope to have them out very shortly. We still come round here to save points, and then we come up to get finesse. We go through the mana nodes. This isn't in the right order. I will update the POB for the right order. This is how the end tree looks like. Ballistics through to aspect of eagle, and then we come through for quick step and some life, herbalism, and then we aim over here for Master Fletcher. We still take the charisma wheel, and then we take what will be auras from your skills have 10% increased effect on you. Currently, as I said, 3.19 changes it from 15 to 10. We come up, we grab this for Replica Conqueror's efficiency. We go Avatar of the Hunt. We've got our Conqueror's efficiency down here. We take Mage Bane, we take Reflexes, and we take the Evasion Mastery 10% increased movement speed if you haven't taken damage recently. We also take Wasting, and because the mana reservation node has gone, we then come up for Soul Siphon, plus we get mana on kill. We come through Entropy, up for Fangs of Viper. Now you'd possibly want to go here for the Dex node, but it's actually this one because we get the 15 life gained on kill, the energy shield. We could stack energy shield if you wanted to help with the anti-stun, but whatever. And then you come through for Blood Drinker. And then over here for Hunter's Gambit, obviously Revenge of the Hunted. And then min-maxing, we then take the Small Cluster Jewel, a 3 passive skill of Mana Reservation with Mortifying Aspect, and to real min-max you want the 25% increased effect, and then we take the Mortifying Aspect with the other nodes to give us all our Mana Reservation. Efficiency plus on this one, like I said, this is a really well rolled one because standard. There we go, that's the passive tree. Hopefully I've explained it correctly for you, but like I said, I will have the POBs updated. So this is what the build looks like. Let's just jump into a heist. Level 61 Deception with Gianna. My Gianna's gear is very min-maxed. Where is she? So that's the brooch, that's the band, that's her disguise kit, and her cloak. We run in and we do pretty much what we've always done. We go in, we drop our totems, we kill stuff. I'm not using the correct filter. I'm not running the Chaos Recipe tool, which I normally would do. This is just to show you how the build will work. We do end up with a little bit more of mana. We've got 154 mana, so the Enlighten level 3 may not be required. It just depends, because of that new mana node being 15% rather than 10. That may affect it. Almost missed the div card box down the bottom, running out of alert level. Goes Molten Shell. Got enough to grab that? Yep. More essences. Through here. Obviously, other than the base stats, my defensive flasks are doing nothing because we're now back to running Purity of Elements, whereas previously I wasn't on my version. So grab that and then we run. Being Deception, we can just run. Again, please note I am using a Legacy Quicksilver flask, so your speed will end up being a lot less than this. Duration also probably be a lot less. There we go, and that's that one. Just quickly dump all this off. Open the stack deck, obliteration. Right, I'll leave that there. Right, let's log on to the next one. This one is the one that's been hit the hardest, in my opinion. There's not much difference between level 1 and level 83. This character is level 94 and again is quite min-max because standard. Right, so again, level 94, this is the high level heister, and this is the gear. Now again, please remember this character has been min-maxed to the full. Unless you have a mass amounts of currency, I suggest still using a Quill Rain and a Hiri's Bite, or possibly changing over the quiver to something like this, as just as a suggestion. Chaos damage over time multiply with attack skills, and increased damage with bow skills and life on an attack speed base is probably the kind of best rare bow you're going to get. Mana Leech is nice, and then just some resists whatever you're missing. That's the easy one. We're on Devotion. You can get one that has Mana Reservation on there or some other helpful enchant. Mine doesn't have one. We are running Queen of the Forest, and we are back to having our totem in our Queen of the Forest rather than our auras, because the Mana Reservation Mastery has gone. So much same as Baby Heist. We are Toxic Rain, Void Manipulation, Withering Touch, Conk Effect, Efficacy, and Ballista Totem. In our bow, we are running Caustic Arrow, and that's because I have a very well crafted bow I brought from trade. That's the bow you're looking for at Endgame. I have no idea how much this will cost. I got mine for 15 exalted orbs before patch 3.19 was released. So yeah, that's the kind of thing you would ideally want. If you've got the currency to do it, then go for it. And this houses our caustic arrow, divergent, mirage archer, void manipulation, vicious proj, efficacy, and decay. A trinket of some description would be great. Get whichever one you feel is appropriate for your currency build. The ones that are gonna change to such and such drops as divine orbs or exalted orbs are probably not going to worth it anymore. Basic currency duplication is fantastic because snack decks are classed as basic currency, and at the time orbs of fusing were quite valuable, but with the change to 6 linked armor items being sold as fusings, that's probably going to change, but oh well. Gear wise, rings, you want the minus mana cost on both. You also want a despair on hit if you can afford one, and then you want your strength and intelligence, any stats you're missing that you can't get from your amulet. This is a very nice amulet. The reason this one has got spell damage on it is because this one's not really attributed to the build. You can see which one I normally use in my inventory, which I will go on to in a minute. So effectively your amulet and your 2 rings, your gloves, your belt, and your boots are all looking for life, resists, boots, the highest movement speed you can afford, and then stats. Whichever stats you'll need, craft the stats. You also want open suffixes pretty much everywhere on rare gear apart from the rings. You really do need that minus mana cost. You could probably throw a minus mana cost on your amulet if you're using a rare amulet. I'm not, so there we go. Gem setups in the devotos, we've got our life tap, divergent frostblink, second wind, and phase run. In our gloves we are running cast when damage taken, molten shell, increased duration, and life tap. And then because the mana reservation mastery is gone, we have a 4-link aura setup, which is level 3 enlighten, malevolence, determination, and grace. Flasks, that's the kind of flask you're looking for. I personally prefer a prefix of, again, the same as the baby heist, more life when on low life. Something like that, because when you're on low life you really want to just go straight back up to max, and that prefix is amazing. Get your anti-bleed on there, get your quicksilver. Again, this is a legacy quicksilver. Flask wise, we are not running purity of elements, so you do need your anti-freeze, anti-ignite, and shock is the preferred 3. I'm missing my ignite. That is a wrong rolled jade. Yeah, so that's the gears, that's the gems. I'm holding that as my eye-jewel in a Styg. Stygian Vice is preferred, so you can get the eye-jewel. This is the helm that I was wearing, but we can no longer put purity of elements in there. These 3 are a lot better for it. We've got the damage and the 2 defenses. So that was my old helm. And yes, I do own an Ashes of the Stars from 3.17. That by far is the BIS amulet. It just gives you a ton of everything, and yeah, if you can afford one, get one. If you can't, go for a rare with the stats. Get sovereignty on there and craft the minus mana cost prefix from Betrayal. That's the gear. Let's move on to the tree. So it's the same as Baby Heist, and then we come down for Way of the Poacher, and then it's pretty much the same kind of tree. We come through here, we go around there, we get intuition, we pick up quick step, we grab the herbalism wheel, we gain 50 max life there. Again, this is in order. We come through here to get Art of the Gladiator and Bravery. This is all stacking our armor and evasion and our life. We come down here to get the Onslaught effect wheel with the gain 5% evasion rating as extra armor. We take the full thick skin wheel, mainly for the life. You could probably get max out avoid elements by some tinkering. Come up here for Mage Bane, and we also grab Sentinel just to make our resists a little bit easier and cheaper. If you can afford one, you stick your Watcher's Eye there, or you can use a Conqueror's Efficiency. I think I've got both in mine, but whatever. Come through here, there's my Conqueror's Efficiency. I thought I had one, and there's the replica Conqueror's Efficiency. Going through Master Fletcher, up for Inveterate, that one for the spell suppression. We grab Cannot Be Stunned if you've been hit recently, Evasion Mastery with Revenge of the Hunted. That should be Grace actually, now we're using back to Grace. Not totally theory crafted, I admit this. I will get the POBs updated as soon as I can and on the document. Take the full Charisma wheel. When I level up to level 95, I will be taking the increased effect of auras on you, the 10%, because it's instead of 15. Take the full wasting wheel with dot per 4 chaos resist if you can max out your chaos resist. If you can't max out your chaos resist, take the 17% chaos resist. Going for Soul Siphon again, up to Trickery via Blood Siphon. It's up to you whether you go for more mana or more life. I've chosen the life, but that is a personal option. Through Entropy, Fangs of Viper, again, if you want to take the Dex node, go for the Dex node. This is only going to give you 15 life on kill. We have no energy shield, so Blood Drinker, and because of the mana costs, our Phase Run, Frostblink and Molten Shell are all on life tap, so we then take 15% reduced life cost of skills. You could take the 10% increased max life and 10% reduced life recovery rate, but this build has very little life recovery, so whatever you do have, you lose. I'd prefer to take the reduced life cost of skills for our 3 skills, especially for Molten Shell. That node took it from about 112 down to 91. That is a lot of life to reduce. And then we've got the full cluster wheel set up. So we've got the increased chaos damage, Unholy Grace, Unwavering Evil, Wicked Pal with whatever resists or missing bits you want on the 4th. We take all 3 of the passives. We then are looking for a jewel like this. It depends how much you can afford, depends which one you want. The actual BIS cluster jewel for that is not on my screen. I'll have to find it, but again I'll make sure the POBs that are on my Google Doc are correct. That then leads into a mana reservation with Mortifying Effect, the 3 passive one. Ideally that would have 25% increased effect. Excuse me again. Might have to see a doctor about my throat at some point. That would be a 25% increased effect if you can afford one. This one is our projectile damage with eye to eye and repeater, plus whatever other things you can afford, want / need. And then this leads into a 2 passive life node with 25% increased, and blessed to get that max mana and that chaos resist. The way I've got this set up means we are massively overcapped on our lightning resistance, simply because this gear isn't optimized. It's just gear I've had on the character since 3.17. I've not really done any changes to it because it works. Why would I? So that's that. Let's run a contract. Again, the gear for my NPC rogues are quite atrocious. Right. So with this one, we're more relying on our Corsicaro rather than our totems. The totems are again back to being 6 link, but again, because we're not investing in totems in any way, our totems tend to die a lot. So I would really save them for rares rather than just dropping them general mobs. This is a brute force one. I don't usually do these. Just grab the fossils. I'm not bothered about the weapons. Whatever the weapons they drop are not going to be relevant. So there we go. Rares. We just stand around and kill the rares because it's a Burning Ground Archnem mod and they are disgustingly bad. I haven't got my Pantheon sorted out on this character at all. I have no idea which ones I've got on here. Come on, I want that Assassin's Mark gone. There we go. Right, grab that and then we'll just run out. Another reason why I like running brute force contracts is because he doesn't take very long. Yikes. Oh wow, that's a whole load of gems. I also have all the gems turned on so I can use them to make the GCP recipe, which is how I'm able to get my Here Is Bite recipe done quite quickly. There we go. Dump all this lot in my tabs. There we go. That's that one. I hope you found that helpful. I've got one more to showcase and that will be the end of this video. We are now moving on to the resurrected Pathfinder Poison Concoction. Let's just grab some of these. I should have used the level 81 blueprint on this person. Oh well. So I've got level 83 there. Right, let's go to Heist and we'll go through this one. I did end up deleting this character, so I emailed GG support to retrieve the character, and then as you can see, I've not even done MTX on this character. I've then put the gear together from what I had in my tabs. Now with this character, the ideal so I'm trying to find the POB I had for it and I can't at the moment. There it is. The ideal chest for this build is the I can't find it. Where's the Cherub one? That's it. Cherubium's Maleficent Triumphant Leather, which has got the increased chaos damage, etc. I didn't see that being changed in the patch notes. I'll just quickly double check. I should have done this before recording the video. I apologise. Managed to do quite a lot of stuff. Yep, there's no changes in the patch notes for it, so it is what it is. Increased chaos damage, increased armor evasion, life and total recovery per second from life leech. That is the best armor for this build. Unfortunately, a 6-link one in standard goes for about 100 divines. I don't have 100 divines, and I don't have the resources to 6-link the one I have in my stash. So I've gone with the old faithful cheaper option, Dendrobate, which is the one I use to level the character. So this is the kind of setup we'll be looking for. We'll quickly go over the gear. Again, this is gear I had laying around in my stash tabs. I will update the POB with better / more appropriate geared. This is just to showcase the build, so hopefully it'll do the job. We are looking at a Alpha's Howl with the Grace Minor Reservation enchant, and on here we've got our Malevolence, an Enlighten, Defiance Banner and Grace. We're still using Defiance Banner on this character for the Armor of Reservation and the anti-crit nodes. Not that I am dubious about its defensive capabilities, it's just we didn't have a lot of mana left. This is quite a high cost mana build, and this is kind of the better banner of the three that are available. You could replace Defiance Banner with a low level Vitality. That's your choice. We've got a shield I picked up from trade, and the only thing I wanted on there was life and chaos resist. It cost me 20 chaos. In here we've got our castle damage taken, molten shell and increased duration. Again, gems I had laying around. We've got our amethyst ring, mainly for chaos resist and the non-channeling, the minus mana cost there. Same for this one, it's resists, stats, and more importantly the minus mana craft. I've also grabbed a set of apothecary gloves I had laying around. This is entirely your choice whether you have apothecary gloves with the implicit 18 increased damage over time, or alternatively you go for an armor evasion set of gloves with the resists and the life you need, and then just use the Eldritch currency to buff the implicits. Now this character is a high level version, it's a level 83 version. I will do, or if I have time, I will do a level 66-67 Endless Heist variant of it in the PoB, but that is dependent on the time I have available between now and release. With the boots, again, we're looking at what of the best movement speed, resists, life you can afford. Armor evasion. The enchant on this is wrong. Cooldown recovery and max life. Fire resist is great as the implicits. It was something I had laying around in my stash tabs. In here we've got our movement skills: dash, life tap, second wind, and empower. That should probably be a phasing thing. I'll have a look, see if I've got one laying around in my tabs. In the gloves houses our increased area effect linked with Plague Bearer, and separate to that, Herald of Agony with another Enlighten. So this build may need 2 Enlightens. PoB suggests it does. As for the amulet, this is one I had laying around. Mass amounts of stats. I do have +1 to all dex skill gems. That's not a requirement, it's just, like I said, one I had laying around with the sovereignty anointed on there as well. And then in our chest we've got our Poisonous Concoction, Greater Volley, Void Manipulation, Unbound Ailments, Vicious Proj, and Greater Projectiles. Belt, obviously Stitch Vice will be best, and again, roll it, get buy one or craft one, whatever you need. Life, resists, maybe stats. This is a searching idol I just happened to laying around, but the phasing, damage over time, well-wearing shield, and life will be quite tasty. Flasks are pretty much the same as the other 2 heist builds. You want the prefixes being the one more life recovery on low life, anti-bleed, Quicksilver, something like this. And this isn't a legacy one, as you can see, it's a straight new one, so should be good for you to roll. I've gone with Granite, Jade, and a Sulphur Flask with Freeze and Chill and Ignite and Leech, because it just happened to be one around. That would probably be better as an anti-shock because we're not running Purity of Elements. So that's the gear. The tree, pretty much the same. Master Toxicist, Nature's Reprisal, Nature's Adrenaline, and Nature's Boon. I'm aware the reduced elemental damage taken is being removed. Can't do much about that. PoB suggests we've got a nice EHP, so I've changed the build a little bit. I've hacked off all the because this extended down here and picked up a dual socket, we gained some more evasion, elemental resists, and golem's blood. I've hacked that all off. We've got thick skin, we've got toxic strikes with poison mastery of plague bearer, maximum plague value. We've got poisonous fangs with cannot deal strikes if they're poisoned. Swift venoms with more damage. Full herbalism with 50 max life. Acuity with dexterity's accuracy bonus instead grants 3 accuracy rating per dex. We do take survivalist for the resistances and evasion. We take the suppression wheel with boots, helmet and gloves have evasion. We do take Revenge of the Hunted with grace reservation. We take replenishing remedies with flask clean the charge every 3 seconds. We take charisma, and if I had one more level I would of course take the auras from your skills have 10% increased effect on you. We've got our replica's conqueror's efficiency, and we then come down for reflexes and mage bane, so we are spell suppress capped. We then come up for wasting and again the chaos resist to make sure we are resist capped. I'm aware that I am way over capped on my resist, but this is gear I just happen to have laying around. When I do the actual POBs I'll make sure that that's not too much. There we've got coordination, we go blood siphon, and at the moment trickery. I'm not sure whether that's the best pathing or we would be better off going through to soul siphon. Find out in this video when I run a test run. We also come up here and get the clever thief nodes, full blood drinker life with 10% max life and 10% reduced life recovery, and then we also take fatal toxins. And then here I've got another chaos damage, cluster jewel with unholy grace, unwavering evil, wicked power, and increased attack and cast speed with chaos skills. I filled out that wheel, kind of run out of points, so I just threw in a conqueror's efficiency and a gem I just happened to be having laying around. Sorry, a jewel I just happened to have laying around, possibly from when I was running this build. That's a scuffed tree. I will do probably a better one. I just wanted to get this video out because people were asking for it. So here we go. Oh, I need to check, see if I've got phasing, a spare phasing gem. Let's have a look in my gem stash. Phasing to replace dash. Have we got one laying around somewhere? No, that's withering step. That's no good. I've got anomalous. That'll do. Yeah, we'll run that. Take the dash out for now. Put it over there. Grab the phasing jewel. There we go. Right. I'm hoping I won't die. We will see how we get on. Okay, let's get this done. See how we do. Activate the phasing and off we go. As I said, I'm not sure how this build will perform. Well, I'm very much out of practice. I haven't run this build in a while. Please don't blame the build. This is me being a noob, gems being underleveled, and not having the right chest. Also, I am slightly underleveled for where I'd want to be. And as you can see, my Herald of Agony is also not leveled. And I'm not even... How about we put Plague Bearer on, shall we? That would probably help. I told you I was out of practice. That's probably why we're not doing a lot of damage, Garth. Ooh, 3 stack decks. Now we've just got to hope we don't die when the alarm goes off. I'm going to stack up the Plague Bearer until we're running out. I don't want to level that up yet. Oh, let's kill that. There we go. Get rid of the respawn. Turn it back on. Yeah, my Herald of Agony was only level 1, so I'm not going to run the full blueprint simply because I'm out of practice on this build. And again, please don't judge the build for my inability to play it properly. Wow, English is hard. Right, let's go. Oh no. There we go. Get the Quicksilver active. Bust out the Plague Bearer. Boom, 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 boom. There goes the rare. Turn Plague Bearer back on. Build up some stacks. Off we go, just in case we get another rare. It's going to kill us. Nope, we didn't. Right, let's go. Come on, come on, come on. Ah, scuff build. There we go. That was a bit of a bad test of the build, but as I said, I apologise. I haven't played this build since I last highlighted it on my channel in 3.17. I abandoned the character, unfortunately, back then. So yeah, that's the 3 builds. I will get POBs, proper POBs done and adjusted and out. I know people have been waiting for these builds from me for a while, and my famous Google document. The Google document will not be linked below because it's not ready yet, but I will copy these characters from my standard profile and include them down below. Please make sure you have your path of building updated to the 3.19, otherwise they will not work. If you'd like to support me testing these builds, 3.18 is coming to an end and everything will be transferred to standard softcore. If you have any items or currency you do not want or need, please think about donating them to me so I can run better builds. I will not use them for personal gain. I will stick them in one of my several empty stash tabs for use, and you will gain credit in any future YouTube videos that I do. Thanks for everything. Stay safe in Rogue Harbour. See you in the next one.